2 months later, and I'm still not ready to talk about it, but here I am. Hey guys, Melinda here. I am so uncomfortable right now. I'm out of my comfort zone, but I am making this video today because I need to get the story out. I need to warn other people about what's out in the world and the signs, the red flags, in case this ever happens to anybody else. That brings us to today's story of I got scammed. So I think I'm just gonna start at the very beginning and just tell the story and what happened, and yeah, okay. This is kind of the last video of kind of my life update wrap up. I've posted several other videos like explaining what's been going on with me. This ties in with the fact that I have 2 new jobs, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. I'll have it linked up here, linked down below, so you can go watch it, because this happens when all of this is happening. So about 2 months ago, I was working part-time at my local news station. It is amazing. Again, I absolutely love the job and I've come so far, especially in just like the past 2 months, but I just wasn't making enough money to sustain myself. So I knew I needed to find another part-time job, hence the quest began. I was so desperate, but again, I was trying to find something in the field of what I want to do, career related. So I kind of was just spam sending applications out to anything remotely similar to film. So like editor jobs, photography jobs, social media manager jobs, like all of that. Things that I've had experience with and kind of tie into what I'm interested right now. Again, just spamming, sending out these applications looking for another job. One day, I get an email from said company and says, "We've received your application. We think you're an excellent candidate. We'd love to have an interview." And so first red flag was that I did not remember specifically applying for this job, this company. But what I chalked it up to is that maybe it is a sister company of something that I had previously applied for. As an example, I applied for a photography job at JCPenney, but I didn't apply on JCPenney's website. I applied on Shutterfly. So in my mind, that's what I rationalized it as. I was like, oh, maybe I applied to some other company, but this is a sister company that also saw my application. Whatever. Okay. Anyway, whole thing at this point does feel a little fishy, so I start to do a little investigating. I know they say you shouldn't follow the links, but I was taught in like phishing classes that if you hover over the email, usually it gives you links to like certain things, and that's how you can determine if it's real or not. So I hovered over this email, and then dropped below was a website and their LinkedIn. So I went to the website, went to their LinkedIn. Everything at this point is legit. It's a legit company, brought me straight to their website. So I was thinking, okay, I guess this could be real. Let me just follow up on it, see what happens. So I did, and the next step was that I went through this lengthy chat interview. So that was another thing that I thought was very weird, is that it wasn't like a Zoom interview, it wasn't an in-person interview, it was a chat interview. Let me also say, because I didn't mention this earlier, this job was going to be remote. 100% at home. The job position was supposed to be a full-time 30-hour-a-week video editor job. And what they explained to me what it was is that this company deals with like mental health and stuff. So they're like, we're gonna send you to houses in your area to talk to our clients and get their testimonies and then basically turn those into videos. Of course, that seemed very real and legit to me as well. So when I'm doing this chat interview, of course I'm thinking it's weird, this just feels weird, but I've never applied for a remote position before, so I thought that maybe this is just how it's done. This is just how they interview because, you know, technology and advancement and stuff. And when I say lengthy, I say that I probably chatted with this guy for an hour and a half. Finished that interview, they asked me to send them a reel of my work and some samples and blah, 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 blah. So I did that, sent all of that. And I don't remember if it's the next day or like 2 days later, I get a call from the head of recruiting to ask how the interview went, how he thinks I feel about the position, how qualified I feel. So kind of like a second interview. But at the end of the phone call, he offered me the position. So I accepted because at this point, everything just seems so legit. Everything seems so real. They were so good. I don't understand. But anyway, and about the same day, I received like what looks like an official acceptance letter, an offer letter for this job. And then they also sent me like a payroll slip, like, oh, let us get your direct deposit information so we can get that set up for you ASAP, which again is not abnormal because when you start a job, that's like one of the first things you need to set up is your direct deposit. And what really got me was the offer letter because they went through the trouble of actually handcrafting this letter personalized to this said position, to my name, to what we talked about, and blah, 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 blah. That's why at this point I was like, okay, I know it feels too good to be true, but this seems legit. And even talked to my boyfriend and he agreed with me. He was like, some of this seems really fishy, but like there is a paper trail to say otherwise, that this is legit, this is real. Yeah, I fell for it. So anyway, the following week, what was to come is that they're saying that I'm going to start training soon and blah, 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 blah. I'm assigned this team leader. We were using like this messaging app too that I don't even remember what it was. I'm using this messaging app to talk to my team leader and she's giving me like these assignments to kind of test my abilities. So like written assignments, editing assignments, and they even asked me to create a 20-minute narrative video, which if you haven't seen, it's actually my Spokane video. Hashtag Spokane doesn't suck. So if you saw that video, that's what this video was supposed to be for. Yeah. Oh, God. Okay, I even go through the effort of purchasing a brand new iPad and iPhone that was supposed to be helping me with my training, and the iPhone was gonna be for work, the iPad was gonna help with my editing, blah, 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 blah. Went through all of this and I got very, not incredibly deep, but I got pretty deep into this point, and then went to talk to some family members about it and tell them exactly what I just told you, the experience, and that how I know it seems really weird, but like, there have been so many signs to say that this seems real, and one of them just said, this really just isn't sitting right with me. Will you just do me a favor for my peace of heart? Give this company a call and see if you are an employee for them. At this point, I was, I guess, frustrated because I've been wanting a job like this for so long and felt like my dreams were being crushed. But I guess at that point, after talking to the family members, I needed that peace of mind too. So the following day, I called the actual company that these people were pretending to be and asked if I could speak to like talent acquisition, head of HR recruiting, anything like that. The lady I talked to on the phone was so nice and she said, oh, unfortunately they're not in at the moment, but I can take your info and have them call you back. What is the nature of the issue? And so I told her I have been offered a position at your company. I think it might be a scam. I just wanted to follow up and see if I am actually an employee with you. She asked, we've been having this happen a few times. What is the position that you applied for? I told her for a video editor position, and she kind of laughed a little and said, oh yeah, no, that is not a real position with us. And that is when my heart broke, it shattered, it sank, whatever you want to say. I was devastated. I think I probably started crying immediately because not only did I find out like this too good to be true dream job really is that, and I just got scammed by these people. And they have my bank information, they have my name, my email, all of this, and yeah. And they still continued to try to reach out to me and say that I have more assignments that I need to do this, blah, 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 blah. And at this point, I knew it was a scam, so I kind of just stopped responding because I didn't know what else to do. And I was so angry and sad and embarrassed. The cleanup process was a little rough. Probably took 2-3 weeks to actually pick up all the pieces that happened. happened, but I was able to go change my bank information so they could not have access to it. Transferred all my funds into a new account, so if they attempted to get into the other one, it's sitting at a 0 right now. Thankfully, I retraced my steps just to double check. I never at one point gave them my social security, which I am so grateful for because I was so scared of identity theft or identity fraud from going through this. But I guess in the long run, the thing I keep thinking is that they probably just wanted money, because one of the things that they tried to do is tell me that I need to download the programming software, so I need to give them like $500. This was after I found out it was a scam and changed my bank information, so I don't know if they had like tried to go in and take money or something, but as soon as they said that they needed $500 from me, blocked on everything. On that messaging app, I blocked the email. I reported their email too as scam, so I don't know what Microsoft did with that, but hopefully something. That was when I was done, and I cut the cord and just was ready to be done. Ugh, my heart hurts just talking about it. This is still a very, very touchy subject. Like I mentioned, it's been 2 months and I still don't want to talk about it, but I do need to get this story out there because there were a few people. Obviously I had to like go change my information with payroll at the news station, so you know, I didn't want to tell them how stupid I was and how dumb I was, but had to tell them the story as to why I was changing my bank information because they thought it was suspicious. Anyway, where I was going with that is that when I went to go pick up these pieces, I had to explain this story to a few people, and every single person I told had a similar story of it happening to a friend of theirs, of a family member of theirs, and it was like the exact same thing, where it was a chat interview, a legit offer letter pretending to be like an actual company, just like literally all the exact same steps I just said to you. All of these scammers do the same thing. So, and that's why I wanted to get this story out, is because if you guys experience anything like this, I don't want to break your hearts, but it's probably a scam. I guess I almost wish I would have had a family member wake me up sooner and say, hey, you got this offer letter. There is nothing wrong with reaching out to the recruiting manager, the HR, whoever at this company to verify that you're an employee. Before you sign anything, before you give them your info, anything like that, it is totally acceptable to verify your position. So there we have it. That is my story of how I got scammed. And again, this video is not in any way to gain pity or make you feel sorry for me. It is purely because this is an issue. It's happening to so many people, and I wanted to give you guys an insight on what it looks like in case it happens to you. You know, I didn't think that such a thing existed until it happened. Oh my God, these scammers are just getting so good. They are making it so legit and prying on people like myself looking for another job and thinking that we landed it and then stealing everything from us. Luckily, I didn't get to that point, but I am sure it has happened to somebody, and if it has happened to you, I am incredibly sorry. I understand the feelings, the frustration, the sadness, all of the emotions that come with that. And I want to say there's nothing to be embarrassed about because, you know, it happens. And like I mentioned, they're getting so good at taking advantage of us and our trust. But I still to this day am embarrassed that I let it get as far as it did. And I suffered from it. I'm picking myself back up, but it has been rough. I will say that. So, but there we have it. There is my story. That is what happened to me and how I got scammed. I think this is what I needed for closure because I have developed some trust issues since this happened, I think, and it sucks. But like I mentioned, I'm just going through the waves. I'm doing great now and moving on with my life, but I think this was the last piece of closure that I needed to let this part of me go. That's it for this video. If you guys have any questions or if you're afraid that it's happening to you and you need some advice, leave it all down in the comments down below. As hard it is for me to talk about this, I genuinely do want to help and prevent this from happening to anybody else. So if you guys have any questions, comments, anything like that, please leave it down below and we'll have a discussion about it. Other than that, that is everything for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you all for the support. If you like this video, go ahead, give it a big thumbs up. It would absolutely mean the world to me, and make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're not already and you want to see more content. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Ugh, blah, 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 blah.